everybody, here I am. I've been putting this off for I don't know how long, getting out here to record the first episode of my podcast. I'm Jane Anderson. I'm your host on the Journey with Janey podcast, and I am so excited to be here with you all, and especially bringing the first episode from beautiful wintry Northumberland. Now, Northumberland is in the north of the United Kingdom, north of England in the United Kingdom, near the Scottish border. So I'm very close to Scotland, and we have the rolling hills around us. And as we grow together on this journey, you will see more and more of where I live and my beautiful dogs who are over the wall watching me. I have a Springer Spaniel called Bella and a Black Labrador called Tilly, and they are my reason to get up in the morning, get out there, out into nature, and just enjoy being outside. Nature is such a huge teacher, and I'm sure you can see that beautiful tree in the background. I absolutely love that tree. I can see it from my kitchen window, and yeah, it is lovely to watch as the leaves grow, as the leaves fall, and as we go through the seasons, seeing the growth of nature and actually learning that nature never ever gets it wrong. Those trees are actually sleeping at the minute, and I'm sure many of you feel like sleeping still. I did a lot of sleeping over the Christmas period. I obviously needed to recharge, re-energise, and come back and introduce myself to you lot, my beautiful listeners and followers. So here I am, out in nature, and here to introduce me to you. And like I said, we can go on this journey of life together, and that is the reason I am here. There are so many things that can go wrong in life. Not just go wrong, things happen, life happens, and we are the only ones that can control what goes on in our life. We can't control the outside environment, we can't control the people that we deal with, we can't control anything other than how we respond to life. So over these next few episodes, I'm going to do sort of introductions to me, where life all started, who I am, where I am, and where I'm going, and ultimately how me being here can actually help you grow into the person that you want to be. So yeah, take a look. This is my little pond in the garden here. It's not really a pond, it just when it's wet, and now it's icy as well, obviously. Oh, sun's getting out again in the background. Not sure that that's great for what we're doing, but it's nice to get the heat on my back. So yes, I'm Jane Anderson. I grew up on a farm with my dad, my mum, and my brother. So farming has been in my blood, and you could say in my ancestry for years. Both sets of grandparents were also farmers, and their parents before them too. So farming was always going to be a huge part of my life from the early days. And yeah, it was. And I have to say, growing up on a farm as a kid, you don't realise how lucky you actually are to be growing up in that environment. And I think maybe you don't actually realise it till you're actually, well, dare I say, my age, and understand the opportunities that you had as a child to be able to get outdoors, learn life skills from a very early age. So yeah, growing up on a farm was, well, you are the little helpers and you learn to understand the farming life and the seasons and the weather. Weather is a big big discussion even for farmers, and still is, and that won't change, as weather dictates a lot that goes on within the farming calendar. And to be honest, as you grow, you get older, you get more useful, I think would be the word that my dad would use. You're able to carry heavier buckets, that kind of thing. So yeah, I was lucky. I grew up on a farm, and probably at the time didn't think I was lucky, because all I wanted to be was in the town with all my friends, or up in the local village. But my friends always loved to come to the farm, and I have to say they were always treated to my mum's famous millionaire shortbread, and it was always a question when they came in for a cup of juice when we'd been out playing or doing whatever, building castles, not castles because that's sand, isn't it, building dens and, you know, that kind of thing. So being able to be out in the outdoors without anybody watching over your shoulder, doing your own thing, that kind of thing. So yeah, and here's the tractor coming past. You can probably hear it in the background. That's the guy who works on the farm for us now. So yeah, my life as I grew up, I went to the local high school, and when I left high school, I went straight into the world of work. So I worked as an embryologist for my first job, and that was with cows. So that was very, very interesting, but I didn't feel like it was my passion. So as I grew and did more studying, I ended up with a job with our local water company. So my life kind of took a turn, and Mum at this point was still driving me to and from work, which was amazing. She was a great taxi driver, as I'm sure many of you mums out there are too. Called upon until the kids pass their tests and get out on their own. But yeah, so my world of work started with the water company, really in full on. I'm a qualified scientist. I have an HNC, and you don't really need to know all of this, because to be honest, now that I'm stood here and what has happened to me over the last should I say 3 years, 4 years maybe, none of the qualifications that I did while I was at work are the reason I'm here today. So that's just a bit of a background. And one thing I will say is, I always said I would never marry a farmer. Yet in 2000 I married my farmer. Now that had a lot to do with when I left school. Mum and Dad didn't want me just sitting in the local pub, so I joined what we have across here, which is a Young Farmers Club, and that is a group of people who have links to the farming community. Well, at the time, that was how Young Farmers worked. Anybody can join. It's basically a youth organisation that has a lot of links into the farming community and beyond. And yes, it is called the Rural Dating Agency for Youngsters. And for all I'd said, I would never marry a farmer. Here I am, the farmer. So yes, Journey with Janey is ultimately my business, but the farm still runs around me as well. So that is me, my little journey. Yeah, obviously married my farmer in 2000, and you know, we had excellent time with our marriage, and the love and unselfishness of Jonathan shone through. And I have two beautiful children, Charlotte and James, who both work away from home now. They both have jobs elsewhere, and I am sure at some point I'm just keeping the farm ticking, and at some point they will take over Jonathan's legacy and be farmers, be it as in the full rural farming business, or diversifying into whatever they want to do with the business themselves. As I won't stop them living their dreams. They will be able to do whatever they want to do. So yeah, and going back to Journey with Janey and the whole reason we're here, I know I said it would be a brief introduction. I hope I've made a kind of a whole picture of who I am, and some of you will be able to resonate with the person I am. And honestly, I will be open and honest. I will talk, I will babble, and you'll get used to the babbling, but I will be here as a listening ear as well, because I would love your comments after you've listened to the podcast. And we can talk all things, how I got to be in this position with Janey, and the business that I am now moving into as a grief guide, and helping people discover their true self and rediscover their peace and purpose. Thank you all for joining me on the Journey with Janey podcast. Always remember, there is something within you that knows no limits. It's time to believe in you. Click the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. I love reading your reviews and comments, so right away. So if you're ready to take those small steps to transform your true self, let's do life together.